Alola everyone, and welcome back to another Pokedex guide. My name is PhillyBeatzU, and in these guides we take a look at all the various locations in the Alola region and see what Pokemon we can find on those routes so that you can fill up your Pokedex. Now, of course, we look at more than just routes, but we have to cover everything on each route. We're going to look at other locations too, because routes are only go up to 17, and there's different locations and areas in the game, even trial locations. So yeah, look forward to that, guys. And if you want to see some previous videos or just have a link to the complete playlist, it will be down in the description below. So without further ado, let's start talking about Route 16. Now, Route 16 is a small route that has some grass and Pokemon Center over there, as well as you can see there is an Ether base on this route. Now, this Ether base is going to play an important role as it's going to involve Zygarde, as you can see on this first picture. But let's look at the Pokemon in the grass area. So you have a 50% chance of encountering Pelipper, 30% chance of encountering Gumshoos during the day, 30% chance of encountering Raticate during the night, 10% chance of encountering Slowpoke. Not that big of a deal here because you can get Slowpoke on other routes. If you go to the berry tree on the right, you have a chance of a Crabrawler jumping out at you. So if you want an SOS chain for maybe a shiny Crabrawler, this would probably be the location that you would want to do it on this part of the game on Route 16. Now, the notable part, of course, like I mentioned, is that Ether House, as you can see in that left picture in the back, and that's where the Zygarde is going to come into play. Now, we want to know how to get that Zygarde. Alright, so here we go. So, as you go throughout your Alola region, you're going to find these various things lying around, these little sparkles. Now, if you see a pink sparkle in the game, as you can see over here, these pink sparkles represent cores. Now, the Zygarde cores are the main elements of Zygarde. There are 5 different cores to find across the Alola region, and they are signified by a red sparkle. They look pink to me. The difference between cores and cells is that for each core you get, you can teach Zygarde a special new move. Now, these are the moves: Extreme Speed, 1000 Arrows, Dragon Dance, 1000 Waves, and Core Enforcer. Of course, I think these are probably the most important moves that you're going to need for Zygarde, so definitely hunt those down. These locations are right here in the video. Now, as you go throughout the Alola region, you're also going to find these Zygarde cells, and they are marked in by a green looking mark, as you can see as well. So there's 100 of them total. Now, when you get 10 of them, you're able to get Zygarde 10% form. Now, the 10% form looks like that little doggo. And if you get 50 of them, you're able to get the 50% form. And of course, it does have the ability Aura Break. The effects of Aura Break are reversed to lower the power of affected moves. That's what it says over here in this crazy text over here. But yeah, that is the 10% and the 50% form. And once you are actually able to collect all 100 of Zygarde cells, right over here, after you're able to collect 100 cells, you'll be able to combine them more solidly into a Zygarde with the Power Construct ability. Now, what is the Power Construct ability? The Power Construct ability is other cells gathered to aid when its HP becomes half or less. Then the Pokemon changes to its complete form. Boom! We've seen this actually in the Pokemon trailers. When it gets hit below a certain mark, it turns into the Ultra form, which is amazingly cool. It looks like a Power Ranger robot form. But yeah, that's what goes down when it comes to the cells and cores. So you guys be aware of that. This is where you're going to have to do the transformation of Zygarde in the Ether House on Route 16. Now let's talk a little bit more about Zygarde. Now, Zygarde has different forms, and all the different forms are going to have different kind of stats. Now, as you can see, here it is. The top one is definitely the 50% form, as you can see over here, and it has a base stat total of 600. As you can see, the speed is 95, its attack is 100, HP is 108, so it does get a higher HP pool as well. Its defense is decent at 128, special defense is 95, and special attack is 81. So Zygarde is not going to be your special attacker. It's going to be your physical attacker. And as you can see, as we go down, we see the 10% form over here. Attack stays constant. Attack stays constant throughout all the forms at 100. So that is something to note here. So it's not like you're getting a stronger attack as you switch Zygardes. It's more likely you're getting a stronger HP pool and a stronger defense in general. Now, The cool thing about the 10% form, which is the dog form, is that you have the highest speed stat with this 115 speed. Now, when we're talking about 115 as well in the game, we're going to be comparing our 115 base stat with these Pokemon. Now, Mega Rayquaza has 115, Persian has 115, Starmie has 115, Sneasel has 115, Raikou, Floatzel, Ambipom, and as you can see, a lot of these Pokemon on this list has 115 as well. So having speed is good. You do outspeed a lot of other Pokemon, which does give you a good advantage. So work on speed if you want. You can outspeed more Pokemon. Talonflame is 126, so I would say put some EVs into that speed as well when it comes to 10% form. I prefer to use 10% form only for the fact that it has good speed versus the other Zygardes. But the only downside to the 10% form, of course, is the defense and special defense being a lot lower than the 50% form and the Ultra Omega 100% form, which has a base stat total of 708. Its HP pool is disgusting, being 216. But the final form does have 85 as its speed. Now let's take a look at what moves, we can use as Zygarde. And of course, I was thinking these moves. The moves that you need to get the Zygarde cores for. Dragon Dance, amazing, as it can raise your attack and your speed stats, which is nice because Zygarde is a physical attacker. And if you're using the 50% form, this would be a good idea to boost up that speed stat. If you're not, I wouldn't say you really need the Dragon Dance as much. When we come to extreme speed, I think that's important to get that final hit. If another Pokemon has just a little bit of HP left, that little speed boost with extreme speed helps so much. I've seen it come in clutch definitely on Arcanine and other Pokemon like Rayquaza. 1,000 Arrows is probably a great ground move, as it can actually affect Pokemon that are in the air. This move can affect flying type Pokemon, and it does a 90 attack. And it is 100% chance affecting. So it's not like it's going to miss a flying bird type Pokemon or the flying type in general. That's because I hate when people switch out and it's a flying type and then the ground type doesn't hit it. So yeah, 1,000 Hours would probably be the good ground move you want to use for that. And Core Enforcer, look at that, man, because the ground and the Dragon Stab is going to be so good. It's going to do 100 attack as well, so that's one of its signature moves. So these are pretty much the moves you want to use. Zygarde's cores definitely you want to get as well. The only things you got to worry about when it comes to using Zygarde is that it does, of course, have a 2x weakness to Dragon, a 2x weakness to Fairy, and sadly, because it is a Dragon Ground, it's going to have a 4x weakness against Ice. So that sums it up pretty much for Zygarde, guys. These are the Pokemon that you can find on this route. Zygarde is the most important, so make sure as you go through your Alola region to come back to Route 16 so that you can complete that full Zygarde completely, so you can get that 100% form in battle as well. The preference of using the dog form or the 50% form is up to you, but I hope this was helpful for you guys. So if you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe, and of course the playlist, like I said, is in the description below. Comment down below what you think of Zygarde, and I'll see you guys in the next video. My name is PhillyBeatzU, and I'm out.